mapayapang isipan. Go Palakas, malinis na paligid, mabuting kalooban. Go Palakas, hangad na maglingkod sa kapat kaibigan. Go Palakas, alagaan natin si inang kalikasan. Halika na totoo sa kalikasan at kapwa-tao. Isa buhay natin ito. Go Pala, Go Pala. Sugan pangkalikasan. Go Palakas.
Hello. Good day,
Kamusta
everybody.
kayong lahat?
Wonderful day. Kita nyo, may araw. At pero cool ang weather.
Very nice.
Very
Oo.
cool. Oo.
Siyempre.
The environment is cooling us.
Oo. Tsaka related sa topic natin,
Exactly.
the beauty of environment and looking after environment.
Yeah.
Diba? Uy, meron na mga
Kasi World Environment Day bukas.
tomorrow ang
Tomorrow, oo.
World Environment Day. Yan. So we relate to the topic at saka mabuti na may expert tayo in environment. Kaya marami tayong may share, di ba?
May guest kayo na di ba? May
May
na
guest
yata.
tayo si Tito Toby. Siya yung ating local expert on the environment.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat at ay a blessed Saturday. Di ba?
Mhm.
At alam ninyo, ang buhay dumadaan-daan lang, ano? But
Mhm.
again, stress or happiness is the same
It's the same.
thing.
Same,
Well-
two sides of the same coin.
Right.
Oo.
Siguro if you're very highly intelligent and spiritually advanced, you can say that. Pero kung hindi mo masyadong maintindihan, parang, paano naging the same? Yung happiness and
May
distress.
mga equalness yan.
Kasi
di ba? Yung
ano lang
perception.
yun, parang dumadaan lang yan. Talagang kasama sa world na ito yung mga positive, negative. Kaya ano
Yeah,
lang
kasi,
pinalalampas natin.
Di ba,
We have to be steady in
World
both.
Environment Day nga di ba?
Mm.
Where does the environment begin?
Mm-mm.
What is your closest environment? I want to ask questions to those who are listening. Think
Sana
about
they can
where does
answer us online.
what is your closest environment? So those of you who have answers, please sagutin nyo, i-type nyo if you have
Kasi care for the environment. So you have to first identify ano yung environment na
right. And
pinag-uusapan
what is
natin.
what is closest to you?
What is the closest environment?
Kasi kadalasan iba-iba eh.
Wala pang
We
sumasagot.
have perceptions of
Nag-iisip pa sila.
di ba?
Nag-iisip
Anyway,
sila,
batiin
very-
na rin natin sila habang nag-iisip
Yes,
sila.
oo.
Okay. Hindi ito test eh. Hindi
We
naman
have
to,
Harry and Harry here.
Yeah.
Hello to
Good morning
you both. I hope you're both happy.
Okay, Gilbert
And Mary.
and Yogi Padilla, good morning. And hi, Ma'am Gemini Rose, good morning. And our friend Saldi, I hope you're keeping
Better now.
healthy and
Mm-mm.
always, in the embrace of the Lord. Yeah,
Yes.
the blessed morning He greeted us. When we discuss about environment, there's two components to it. One is, sasagutin ko na ba?
Oh,
Sagutin
sige.
na lang natin yung
Okay,
environment sa
okay.
labas. Ano yung environment?
The inner and the outer
The
environment.
external and the internal.
Yan.
Diba? So,
The macro and the micro also.
so, and both has a strong effect on each other.
Yeah.
Both.
They affect each
They
other.
affect each other. Kasi you cannot separate one to the other.
Mhm.
The elements that comprises the closest environment to you,
Which is
which is your body,
mhm.
right? Your body is made of the different elements in nature.
Mm.
The outer environment. No,
Right.
same element.
Water, diba?
Earth,
Earth,
uh,
air,
air,
hangin. Tapos,
fire. Yung fire.
fire,
Heat yun.
Heat.
In the body.
yeah,
Like, for example, the fire of digestion. No?
right.
Mm-mm.
Nadadigest yung food, di ba?
Mm.
Napaprocess niya para siyang, ano yan eh?
Para siyang stove na
Yeah.
niluluto niya yung pagkain.
At saka yung ano rin, yung ether is the space.
Yeah,
yeah.
your body has
Space
spaces
inside.
Yeah, you need
inside.
that space for them
And-
to move.
For, blood to flow, oxygen to flow. Some of the organs are buo, solid. Some of the organs are hollow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that means that's where energy or the air would flow.
Mm-mm.
Now, when we discuss this environment that we are in, the closest one, it only points to, di ba, our nature. Who are we?
Mhm.
Pag sinabi mong ikaw yung katawan, hindi, nagbabago yung katawan palagi.
Always in
Diba?
flux.
Bago-bago.
Oo.
Continuous changes takes place
Mm-mm.
on even on a daily basis. The cells continue to die and,
Regenerate.
Regenerate.
Oo.
tapos every time you have food, you take in food,
May effect sa body.
may effect ka
Oo,
agad.
whatever
So the
you're
body is
eating.
constantly on a move and it's changing. From the day we're born, di ba? Liit lang. Palaki na ng palaki yan.
Pabago
Yung iba,
ng
lumalaki
pabago.
masyado, pero may mga ganun. Kaya yung
Sumobra
nutrients.
sa linis.
Pero kayo naman
Hindi,
be
naalala ko
serious
lang
in
ikaw
this.
kasi. Kasi merong joke, yung iba parang tumangkad masyado, nalampasan daw yung hairline.
So, there are these things like it takes place, the body's constantly changing, but you remain the same.
You, the person.
You're the
in there.
person,
Oo.
the very driver of your body right now.
Yes.
I mean, we're not the full driver, sa totoo lang. You see, we can only handle, kumbaga substitute driver lang tayo. I mean, if you look at it in another angle,
Kung
because,
kunyari kotse yung ating katawan, tayo yung nag-drive.
oh, then, may
Pero
driver
hindi
nga.
ka in
Oo,
full
kaya lang.
control.
Hindi ka in full
Oo.
Because
Oo.
syempre, it's no analogy is ever perfect.
Right.
Oo.
At saka there's also other forces making
Yes.
things work inside the body.
Right.
Your
Diba,
system.
Some things are automatic.
I mean,
Oo.
paghinga nyo, it's autonomic.
Mhm.
Pag-digest nyo,
Although you can control a little bit, yeah?
Right.
Like you
Yung
can go
kung ano yung-
fast or slow.
kung ano yung sinusubo nyo, yun yung nakokontrol. Yung pag-breathing, yan. Tapos pagkain ninyo,
The choices you
the
make.
choices you make. But the processing that takes place in your body is something that's autonomic.
Yeah.
And how much of that is your control?
Imagine kung tayo magkocontrol ng paano yung gagawin na.
No,
Okay, labas na yung enzyme na yan. I don't even know the name of all those enzymes.
Tapos you have,
Tapos yung kahit yung paghinga, ay nakalimutan ko huminga.
Ay, patay.
Hindi ba patay?
so you have many to consider.
At least we don't have to think of those things.
Kaya nga,
Automatic na
and
siya.
then finally, di ba, minsan, siguro, di ba,
Maraming pag.
tayo yung isip. Yung isip at saka yung brain, yung nagko-control, di ba? Di
Oo.
ba, sasabihin mo naman,
Dami
are you the mind? Are you the brain?
No.
Hindi rin eh.
Mm.
Kasi, di ba?
Parang yung
The
mga
brain.
reflexes, some people, they jerk, they have tremors.
There are
Even if you
things that
don't
takes
want it
place.
to happen.
So sa environment natin, we see that we are not the complete controller, but we are the resident.
Oo. To some degree, we
To
have
some degree.
control.
Yes.
To some degree, we have
Oo.
control of our
Mhm.
certain destinies that we decide on the decision-making process.
Certain
When
things
you
we
say
can choose.
resident, actually, you say the body is an environment, no? Marami ring residente.
Right,
Sa
cells.
loob, ang dami ng bacteria,
Ang
mga
daming cells yan
mga mga ibang may
Every
bulate.
cell.
Different
Oo,
organisms,
different
different-
organisms,
dami yan.
diba?
It's not like pag tinignan nyo nga yung gut health natin sa digestive.
Oh yes, now that's the big thing, right? You have to take care of all those microbes that are
Right.
beneficial.
Flora,
Man.
flora.
Right. So, makikita natin, and you know the flora, yung ano niyan, yung self-digestive mo,
Mm-mm.
they're also found in the external.
In the air.
Environment.
Mm-mm.
So as you see,
When you make kimchi or sauerkraut, that's the good bacteria
Right,
in the air
it
going
comes
to the
out.
food.
So there's yung mga suka, may ganun din yan eh.
Ay,
Okay.
pang
Meron din
ferment.
siyang
Oo.
fermentation.
enzymes.
Diba?
Oo.
So, you see, this is our kumbaga na our small environment, our micro.
Mm-mm.
It covers us. It affects so many.
Oo.
It affects our life.
Yeah,
Oh,
even
yeah.
your mood,
Yeah.
Your
even your
moods.
mental state affected.
So, as you know, when you talk about, let's say, di ba minsan, you eat a food na parang, ay, sumobra yata yung kain ko sa ganun, ha? Or mali yata, and I don't normally would eat oil, or there's people who don't take dairy
Or
products.
kumain ka ng maaanghang.
Oo, yun.
Medyo
Oo.
na-affect yung mood mo, no?
Ayan.
Medyo masungit ikaw.
Nagiging fiery,
Umiinit
Oo.
din.
Nagiging fiery
Madaling
bigla.
uminit ulo.
you know. So,
Oo.
okay. So, it's
So
simple.
that's the small environment.
Yes, but we
Now
are,
the bigger one.
who are we? We are the life force,
Mm.
Oo.
right? That makes it so that this body is functioning. Pero hindi tayo yung katawan.
Mm-mm.
Neither hindi rin tayo yung isip natin.
Mm.
Alright? Nandiyan ang talino. Okay?
Mm.
Yung intelligence ng tao. Tapos syempre, yung consciousness ng tao, nakadikit kung sino ka eh.
Mm.
Di ba? So anyway, pag-usapan naman natin yung macro environment.
Okay.
Ito
The
yung paligid
outer
natin.
one,
The
yeah.
outer one. Hindi ba yung mga elemento eh, air,
Same, no?
Earth.
heat, earth, and then earth,
Yeah.
right? Water,
Mm-mm.
60% na. And kita nyo sa mundo natin, 3/4 of the planet is covered by water.
Oo, mas maraming tubig.
Mas maraming tubig. Pero wag natin kakalimutan, sa ilalim ng mga karagatan, may kalupaan.
Meron din. Oo.
Kasi naisip lang natin na, uy, puro tubig. Kano kaya kalalim
Oo.
yung planeta nung...
Yes, of course.
Ang-
May bottom din.
May bottom din yan.
There
May
is earth underneath
earth sa
the
ilalim.
walls.
Wag natin
Oo.
isipin na
It's floating around.
it's just baka nagpo-flow sa kabila yung Pacific sa ano. Hindi.
Oo.
May lupa yan. Kasi
Oo.
minsan pag nakikita natin yung planeta, tubig.
How does that work? Oo.
How does it work? Kasi if the earth is not there,
It holds the water.
it holds the water in place. Kaya nga may gravity pa rin eh.
Oo.
So, syempre, hindi naman ako masyadong speaking on science, hindi ba? Simple analogies lang. Tingnan lang natin na gano'n. Pero may role yung tubig. Pag sinabi natin 3/4 of the world is covered by water,
Mm-mm.
it's only in certain depths. And some are surface. Pero hindi siya yung ganun kalalim
May
na
shallow,
malalim.
may deep.
Oo.
Mm-mm.
Tapos may ano nga yan, hindi ba? May sukatan. Hindi ba? Yung biosphere. Diba?
Where the
8
living
kilometers
things
up
are.
and 8 kilometers down
Oo.
sa surface. So dyan, nakikita ninyo, that's where all the different elements, interact, and all the different living beings in different
Nandun
life
yung mga
forms.
habitat.
Nandun yung
Oo.
mga habitat natin.
Mm-mm.
Ngayon, this whole system is a functioning system. Both water and land.
Mm-mm.
There are living entities that thrives in water. There are living entities sa kalupaan.
Oo.
That includes us.
And some on both. You
Right.
can go on both
Ngayon tayo
areas.
naman, on the scheme of things, we're very small in number. Kahit na sabihin niyo, there's 8 billion people.
Yung humans.
Yeah,
Oo.
there's 8 billion people. That's our population. But yet you will find, compared to other living entities,
Like the microbes in your gut.
the microbes in your
So
gut.
much more. Oo.
Pag nakakita kayo ng colony ng
Billions,
langgam, nakakita kayo ng
trillions.
colony
Oo.
ng, ano yun, yung mga anay.
Oh yeah, ang dami nila.
Dami nila. Yeah.
Sa langgam pa lang nga eh. Sa
Oo.
bahay, outnumbered na yung tao.
And
Oo.
these are
Diba?
the ones that are moving.
Mm-mm.
But you go down to the plants.
So ang dami natin
Pag-
iisipin, pag inisip mo yung environment, hindi lang talaga tao.
Kaya
Ang
natin,
iisipin
kaya
mo.
we have to talk about all the others
Yung bigger picture.
that
Ang laki
makes full use of the environment,
that
the
we
two
share.
systems
Oo.
that are there. Who maintains the balance of the ocean ecosystem.
Mm-mm.
Who's responsible for that?
Mm-mm.
Just same as the kagubatan. Tayo ba ang responsible sa kagubatan? No.
Mm-mm.
To tell you frankly, I mean, anybody who goes and live in the forest and don't know how to live in the forest or have never been to a forest, or even if you know that there's a
Good
forest
luck.
there, you're not gonna go there and decide, oh, dito ako maninirahan.
I'm gonna do this or that, no?
It's not
You're
gonna
not the
work.
boss in the forest.
It's a whole different, your body is not designed,
Mm.
right?
Kung you don't know how to live
yeah,
within that system, mahihirapan ka.
mahirapan tayo. But yet, at the same time, we need the very forest to maintain the balance of our own physical and mental existence.
Actually, andyan ang kailangan natin. Kaya lang kung hindi tayo educated, hindi natin alam,
Right.
dun, hirap tayo. But if we know, then everything will be easy.
And we should appreciate it that we need these systems just as all the different living entities in the forest or in the marine system needs the stability of both systems for them to thrive. Para
Yeah.
sila mabuhay, magdumami, yung
Mm-mm.
right, mag-strive sila, alam yung pinaka-importante rito.
Oh.
Yung they're able to do what they are meant to do.
Mm-mm.
Actually, may sinabi nga na, it is not the sun that is drying up the plants. It is man who has cut down the trees
Yeah.
Ayan.
that have let the plants die.
Right.
Yes.
Or kasi these are ano yan yung karagatan, 'di ba? Yung mga dagat.
Mm.
May asin yan 'di ba?
Yes.
Hindi natin
Oo, bakit may asin? What
Yung
does it
asin
do?
niya,
Oo.
to increase the density of the water.
Mhm.
So when the sunlight comes down,
Mhm.
it bounces off.
Okay, so it helps
It
with the
doesn't-
temperature.
It doesn't totally absorb it.
Yan.
So it bounces it. So ngayon,
It helps cool off the
Ang-
planet.
pag sinasabing nagbabago yung temperatura ng dagat,
Naku, problema na yan.
right?
Kaya ang nagkakaroon ng warming sa water.
Yeah, kasi
Oo.
syempre, you have to look at the freshwater component.
Mhm. Meron din siyang sariling role.
Right.
Mhm.
So, di ba?
Next week will be ocean naman. Ocean
Sige,
week.
wag natin
Oo.
discussin yung sa
Yes,
ocean. Next
yes.
week na lang. So,
Oo.
kasi pag-usapan na lang natin yung
But there has to be a balance talaga
Yes.
between the terrain
Yes.
and the ocean.
kasi
Oo.
the moment there is changes, kasi di ba, ano nangyayari ngayon? Ano ba ang issue sa climate change?
Mainit.
Like,
Tuyo.
hindi.
Extreme.
What's
Pagdating sa
causing it?
karagatan, hindi ba yung mga yellow?
Ay, oo.
Yes. Hindi na siya ganun ko-salty because nagme-melt yung mga
Nagme-melt
ice.
yun, pumapasok yung fresh
In
water.
fact,
Naiiba tuloy.
tanaw
Oo.
na raw
Going-
from
the current.
natanaw from space that the mountain Alps, yung mga merong snow covered
Wala na,
are
wala
turning
na.
green.
Oo.
Right. So,
Nag-green na.
this is the dilemma of the climate change, because
Mm-mm.
when the north and the south poles, which is the main, yan yung pinaka, ang duty niyan to stabilize the temperature of the ocean and the ocean currents.
Currents, yes.
Pag nagbabago ang temperature, the currents changes.
Mhm.
Because the load of water that's melting is now, saan siya pupunta? So the currents will need to change.
Yeah.
Pag nadamihan siya ng tubig na tabang, so hindi na niya,
Nasisira yung balance.
pag tumama yung init,
Mm-mm.
iinit yung tubig.
Yan.
Yung tumama yung yung
So may
sikat
areas
ng
na
araw,
masyadong mainit, may areas na masyadong malamig.
malamig.
So nagkakagulo ngayon ang movement.
Oo, so ngayon,
Kaya siguro there are problems with the fish also. Suddenly, why is he
they're
in this part?
migrating, they're migrating,
At
they're
saka
looking for
namamatay.
cooler.
Yeah.
Oo, nagmamatayan.
fish
Kasi they're
killed.
looking for food.
Mhm.
Syempre, their food is also disturbed by these changes.
Oo, ay, oo.
You know, the systems that has been designed by our very creative creator. Kaya nga tawag sa kanya creator.
Ayun na. Doon
He's
galing
very
yun.
creative.
Mm-mm.
Okay? We have to appreciate that, no? And we have been given this temporary place that we should be able to live in harmony with all the other living entities and be, kumbaga, ano, respectful.
Yun.
Mm.
Kaya ka lang magiging in harmony if you respect,
Right.
di ba?
And you recognize
Otherwise, you don't wanna follow.
that on the end of the day, what we have to all ask ourselves this question. And am I making the world a better place, or it's just me causing so much issues in the way I live my life?
Yan.
You see, the resources that we need to live our life in this world comes from nature. Everything is supplied by nature.
Yes.
Now, alam nyo, for example, if you buy a vehicle, a kotse,
Mm-mm.
bakal,
Mm-mm.
may plastic, okay, may salamin,
May oil.
may oil,
Oo.
may gulong,
May gas.
ang
rubber.
dami niyang ano,
May tubig din, no?
Sa
For
lahat.
it to work.
sa lahat galing yun.
Nature.
So kaya, alam nyo, this morning may balita, no? Yung governor ng South Cotabato,
Yan.
sabi niya,
Governor Tamayo. Not related to us.
baka, sabi ko, uy, binan niya yung mining sa kanilang probinsya.
Binibito niya.
Binibito niya.
Yes.
Lalabanan niya.
Mm-mm. Sana manalo siya
Kasi,
sa kanyang
Alam niyo,
fight.
pag isang lugar ay namina, ang rehabilitasyon niyan ay napakahirap.
And is it even possible, no? To bring it back to the way
It's
it was?
lost.
Oh.
Yung resource
It's
na yun.
so
Kasi they
difficult
gouge
to
everything
rehabilitate.
out. No?
Sinira niyo lahat ng strata ng earth,
Oo. The
sa base
soil,
at saka sa
the
top. So,
subsoil, lahat.
anyway, we will go endlessly pag may discuss tayo ng gano'n. But it's
Oo.
always very important for us to understand that what is my role as a human being? What is the role that I have to play? I'm a bird. I'm not a bird that eats the fruit and flies all over the place and makes poo-poo so that
And
regeneration,
your tree will grow.
may
Yes.
growth and reproduction yung particular tree na yun. Or, I'm not a honeybee, right?
Mm-mm.
That will go and pollinate.
Mm-mm.
I don't have the function of the honeybee
Mm-mm.
that will pollinate the flowers.
So they can have fruits.
They can
and
have fruit
Seeds.
and seeds.
Mm-mm.
Tama? So, or, I'm not the tree that can shield the earth from the torrential rain or the temperature from the sun that comes down. Right? Ganun yan eh. Every tree, every plant. Di ba may mga pangalan?
Yeah.
Oo.
Meron din siyang function.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But now that you're mentioning all their functions, parang nakakapanliit na, wow, ang daming ilang contribution.
Ang dami
Ano
palang
ba yung
contribution.
contribution ko?
Kaya nga,
Actually, may statement rin on this spaceship called Earth, there are no passengers. No? We are all crew.
Naku, so ano yung ating rule
Ibig
nga?
sabihin,
Dapat
hindi ka
alamin
lang
natin yung
pwedeng
ating rule.
nakikisakay. Hindi ka lang
Yan.
pwedeng pa-banjing-banjing, parang
Oo,
pasahero
maghintay ng
ka.
service.
bahala na sila.
You
Bahala
are
na yun.
crew.
Bahala
Kailangan
na yun.
meron kang role.
Yeah.
Make
Bahala
it
na yun.
function.
You gotta do
know?
your job.
Yeah, we all have something because we live off
Mm-mm.
the life that we have on the physical in this world is dependent on the balance and stability of the bigger environment, water
Yes.
and the earth.
Yes.
Kaya nga, we need to be able to understand these different dynamics just so that we are able to function in a way that we are not destroying.
Yeah.
Oo, hindi
What is
tayo
not
nang
even
hijack
ours.
ng ating
Meron nga isang advice.
place.
If you do not know how to clean your surroundings, at least don't make it dirty.
Yes.
Yun
Ay,
lang,
naku.
hindi ba?
I think everyone has to do that, has to follow that. Oo.
Kung medyo, sabihin nyo, I'm so busy, I cannot, parang sina yung friend natin sa Dalumpinas, hindi ba? They're cleaning, no?
Oo.
The surroundings. Now, if you're saying, I cannot volunteer, I cannot do those things, man lang, hindi ikaw yung nagkakalat.
Oo,
Hindi ikaw
huwag
yung
ka magdagdag.
nagpo-pollute, hindi
Oo.
ba?
Exactly.
Alam mo, okay, patiin natin ang ating
Yeah,
mami
speaking
na,
of our friends.
our friends.
Oo.
Yung mga crew members natin sa
Gina
Spaceship
Pasco,
Earth.
good morning to you.
Oo.
And Thomas, Okay, kamusta
Yes.
ka ngay? Kamusta? How are you in Angeles City?
Mm-mm.
I'll be visiting your city very soon. I have a meeting with your leader.
Oo.
So
Take me to your leader.
we will talk about yung mayor nyo. We will talk about supplying
environment
water
also.
to Angeleños.
Wow.
May sustaining
Merong project dyan.
kami ginagawa.
Ah.
Then Dixie
Hey, hello
Palmos,
to
good
Dixie.
morning. Bong Alano, good morning to you too.
Mm-mm.
Then definitely the Mainigo tribe. And then Lakshmi Maluya, good morning.
Avelina.
Avelina.
Abelina.
Yes,
Avelina.
Avelina.
Oo.
Then Mila Celeste and our friend Ver, good morning.
Si Ananda Teves, yes.
Angel
Bear May
Gonzalo,
and
Nat,
Hanuman daw.
and then
Mila
Ligaya
Celeste.
Disa. So I hope you join us in our discussion. No?
Si Ligaya, tiga Angeles din yan.
We want
So,
to
ano yan?
hear from you.
We'll see you there.
Alam nyo, when we share you this information, simple as it may be, please share it to others.
Mm-mm.
We have to do, our role, pag ina-analyze mo yung scheme of things, tingnan nyo sa likod namin, iba-ibang uring halaman, hindi ba? Hindi naman sila dyan para lang pagandahin yung background namin. So, totoo lang. You know, yung background sa likod. No. There's a purpose for why they're there. There's a function that why they're here and what they need to do. Kasi if you, as a steward or a person who takes care of them, and the truth is, they look after each other. There's not much I can do for them except give them a nice spot, yung mga ganun ba na maaarawan sila. But if you give them the right place that they will thrive in, and they will thrive in. Kumbaga, oh, perfect yung halaman na yan sa ganitong lugar. Ah. Kaya huwag ka maglalagay ng lotus dito sa likod dahil walang tubig.
Oo.
Kaya don't try
Tsaka wala
to
masyadong araw.
araw. So
Pero even in terms of anong contribution, di ba, in terms of beauty,
siyempre, aesthetics, nandiyan, nakaka-relax.
Nakaka-relax,
Nakaka-relax
di ba?
yan.
Tsaka syempre yung oxygen, di ba? Yung,
Definitely, ang dami.
di ba,
Kita niyo yung mga sa likod, ang lalaki ng dahon yan.
Mm.
Oo.
Yung mga ganyan, pag alam nyo kasi mabubuhay sila sa ilalim ng lilim, sa malilim, ayaw rin nila masyado ng matagal ang init.
Mm-mm.
Kasi kita niyo, pag ganyan kalaki yung mga dahon yan, may purpose siya. Isa, unang gagawin yan, kasi nabubuhay yan sa ilalim ng gubat. Undergrowth yan.
Mm. Yeah.
Alam niyo, pag bumubuhos yung ulan, di ba?
Oo.
May mga crown yung mga puno, di ba?
Mm.
So,
Nasi-shield yung sa
sinishield niya.
baba. Oo.
bago siya tumama yung bagsak ng second level ng tubig,
Mm-mm.
yung mga halaman na ganyan, malalaking dahon, isi-shield nila yung impact ng bagsak ng tubig para by the time it
baba.
hit the ground, gentle na.
Mm-mm.
So, na-absorb ng lupa,
Yeah.
na-absorb ng
Hindi
microorganism.
nag-erode.
Walang
so, yun ang
erosion.
kanyang
Oo.
contribution.
May ibang role. Tsaka syempre, maraming microorganism na binubuo yan. Yung mga roots yan, ano yan? Ano yan? Mga growth hormones, ang daming ganyan yan eh. Kasi these plants will thrive without our intervention.
Medicinal, yung iba, medicinal din.
Yes.
Maraming halaman, medicinal actually.
But you know, like you mentioned, kung hindi tayo magkakalat, at hindi tayo pumupulot ng basura, at least wag tayo magkalat, no?
Oo.
I'd like to point out, halimbawa tayo, no, ang isang contribution na para hindi tayo magkalat. Let's not buy things we don't need. You know,
Yes.
like every month, like now, malapit na naman yung sale day.
Oo.
Di ba? Let's control ourselves. Let's only buy what we need. Kasi marami dyan gimmick para we buy more. And then we end up with things we don't need, nagiging kalat, di ba? Halimbawa, buy one, take one. Wow, mas gusto ko yon, may deal, you know? But then you don't really need the other one. Isa lang naman kailangan mo.
Oo.
Eh, di dadagdag ka lang sa gulo.
Oo.
Or when you see, ay, libre shipping if I buy another thing. So, gastos ka na naman.
Oh,
Bili na naman ng
minimum
more,
shipping.
which you
Alam mo
don't
kasi,
need, no?
yung i-analyze nyo, shipping.
Mm.
What is involved in shipping?
Packaging,
Package, plastics, whatever it is.
Ang
Tapos,
daming plastic.
yung shipping
Bubble
pa.
wrap.
Yung
Yes.
shipping pa.
Yun na.
May gasolina, delivery,
Oo.
manpower, ang
And
dami
then you
na.
probably didn't need that second item. Just you want to save on shipping but you end up spending more. Kesa nagbayad ka ng shipping, mas mura. Di ba? Let's be careful with our consumption.
Actually, there was one good article that I read that after the elections, ang daming tarps.
No.
But there's a place,
Ang
ginawa nila, yung bottle, yung brick,
Briquettes. Ano,
Hindi, Eco-bricks.
Eco-bricks,
Yes,
oo.
para magamit na sinaksak nila
I hope-
lahat ng mga tarp sa loob
I hope
ng mga
tinutuloy
bote.
pa rin yan kasi alam mo minsan sa atin,
Oo, very useful yan.
trending
ha?
eh. Yung
Oo,
parang
pag
uso
after a while,
ngayon,
ayaw na.
nagkaroon ng pandemya, so dumami na naman yung plastic. I
Mm.
hope we are
Being
Eh,
conscientious with these
conscientious
things.
and not go by kung ano lang yung uso.
Mm-mm.
Saka
Oo.
natin bibigyan ng pansin.
Actually, the pandemic has made it so that our consumption of plastic things has increased. So it's time to remind each other, no? Let's go back to our pre-pandemic habits na natuto na tayo mag-bags, bring our own bags and all that. Every time you buy something online, it comes in so many layers of plastic. So let's control that, no? That will be our contribution to the
So meron nga ring
environment.
mga, of course there are people are offering different solutions.
Mm-mm.
But yun nga yung sinasabi mo na it starts with consumption. It's
Yes.
not a matter of just recycling things, but if
Mm-mm.
you cut down on the consumption, then that would be a good help for the environment.
Oo.
And there is one, meron tong may nag-state nito na we do not command nature, but we should obey nature.
Mm-mm.
Kumbaga, when it comes to nature, hindi tayo yung commander.
Yes.
Kumbaga, mag-state. And neither,
Feeling Moses, no?
neither does stronger economy mean destroying nature. Because stronger economy can be lead to healthy environment. In fact, a real good economy,
Sustainable.
oo,
Oo.
takes care of the environment
Yan
talaga.
ang sustainable way
On the end of
to have an
kasi,
economy.
it is about your ability to manage the resources
Mm-mm.
and to see that we understand that such resources is not limitless.
Yeah.
Meron siyang hangganan.
Oo.
Yes.
Hindi lang managing kasi.
Yeah.
It's really
And that
respecting.
there are laws governing by nature,
Even-
no? And you cannot just ignore them kasi tayo din babalik yung misery sa
Tayo rin
atin.
mahirapan eh.
Oo.
Kasi
We don't exploit kasi dapat.
the
We
cause and
manage.
effect of
Oo.
things that we do in this world,
Mm-mm.
there's always, kasi
Meron
the human
kapalit.
life,
Mm-mm.
we are amongst all of the living beings in this world, we are held responsible for actions we
Mm-mm.
perform.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
So that means, kung ano man ang tinanim nyo, siya ang aanihin ninyo.
Yan.
Ngayon, so, it goes well to understand fully, kasi
Our
tayo
role,
yung may
ano?
abilidad and the intelligence to be able to see a different perception of what it is in the world and what my role is.
Mm-mm.
Kasi kadalasan, we always tend to think, I am my body. So when you start to think like
Oo,
that,
Wrong thinking.
it doesn't work because
Parang-
you're not your body. You don't.
Yeah.
You're
And
not
you
flesh and
become
blood.
selfish if you think
Right.
I'm my body. Kasi like, I'm the only one gonna be able to taste that, you know?
Right.
You can only taste what I can.
changes the dynamics a bit. No, but
Ay, iba eh.
when you talk about resources, like I mentioned, it's not endless. The
Oo.
resources are limited.
Right.
But if our wanting more is limitless, the desire to have more,
Oh, it doesn't match.
it doesn't match.
Oo.
And what happens is when you overconsume the resources that are limited, you're consuming for the others in the future.
Yeah, you're taking what
Mer-
doesn't belong
Meron
to
nga
you.
sinabi, if you forget nature now, that future generations will never forget you.
Will not
Kasi-
even forgive you.
Not
Oo.
just forget you. They will remember you as being the thieves, yung kumbaga yung
Thieves
nagnakaw
nga,
sa
you're
kanila.
taking
no?
what is not yours.
What is their quota? Parang
Mm.
inubos na nitong generation na to.
Yeah,
Oo,
we have to recognize
Ganon, may
what-
quota lang.
yeah,
Kung ano lang
our
kailangan.
limits. Kasi for example,
Mm.
ang tiyan natin, di ba?
O
we can
ganyan
only
lang
eat so
kaliit,
much.
diba?
If you overconsume,
Yeah.
Sound effect.
Siguro pag nagsha-shopping ka, isipin mo yung size ng stomach mo, no? Minsan, ang mga nabibili, ang lalaki na eh, di ba?
sometimes hindi naman kayo gutom, kumakain pa rin kayo.
Ayun nga, mga
Or,
buy
you
one,
know,
take one, lahat
there-
kakainin.
there are such situations, but
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
recognize the fact that you're consuming what is meant for the future.
Or
And
somebody else at present.
At the
Oh,
present.
yung mga
Not just the future, but now.
malnourished, yung
Oo.
mga ang kihirap, hindi ba?
So ngayon, for example, hindi ba anong mga nasa balita?
puro food security. ang
Food security ang
Nakakatakot
pinag-uusapan.
na. Mm-mm.
Tapos,
Kulang ng rice,
kukulangin sa
Kulang
ganito,
ng
kukulangin ng
sugar.
harina, kukulangin ng oil, ano naman yung
Kulang ng
basic
flour.
commodities na ginagamit natin na nakasanayan natin pang araw-araw na pag pumunta ka sa isang
Pandesal.
lugar kung saan mo binibili, nandyan yun palagi.
hindi na ngayon.
Hindi na ngayon.
Oo.
Nagbabago na ang panahon. Isa pa, ang nature natin, kumbaga siya stress na rin sa demands na ibinibigay sa kanya. Dahil hindi naman siya limitless sa resources.
Oo.
And if we see that we can only support this much for the future, so you have to understand in nature, to rehabilitate the natural systems, it takes a very long time.
Oo.
For example, in Central Luzon, in Angeles City, Pampanga, Tarlac, those places, Zambales, iba nang pumutok yung pinatubo.
Oo.
Okay.
Nasira na yung environment.
Ang daming namatay ng mga vegetations
Right.
on both sides.
Natabunan.
Okay?
Mm-mm.
Siyempre, abo yun eh. You
Yep.
know, mainit masyado yung earth nun eh.
Tapos ang bigat pa, no?
Siyempre, lahat ng whoever, all the living beings basically got decimated. Kung hindi yung abo na nag-cover sa kanila, yung pinakainit ng bundok. Kasi mainit yan eh.
Right.
Mainit yan eh. Hindi na, kaya nga umaapoy eh. So, once you see it, alam niyo, pag pumunta kayo dyan, makikita niyo yung vegetation nila, nagre-recover pa lang. It's starting on the first stages. It will take 300 to 400 years for
Wow.
nature to be able
Ang
to
bagal, no? Ang
bagal ng process. So, pero nangyayari sa atin, mabilis natin inuubos yung resource, pero yung nature, hindi siya maka-recover doon sa ginagamit na ng dinidemand sa kanya. So ngayon, make long story short,
Okay.
yung pinakabundok ng pinatubo na yan, kaya pinagtubuan eh,
Oo, ng ibang bundok.
ng ibang maraming
Oo.
bundok. Kaya nga pinagtubuan. Yun ang pinaka-source nung shaping all of the landscape. So anong nangyari niya? Yung namatay yung vegetation sa sa laki ng bundok na yan. Alalahanin niyo, di ba, tawag sa Pampanga, pampang, ibig sabihin niya, matubig.
Mm-mm.
Swamp.
Swamp.
Mm-mm.
So, kaya lubugin yung mga guagua, yung mga lubaw, mga Candaba swamp, lubugin lahat yan nung araw pa. Kasi napakalaki ng source ng pinanggagalingan ng tubig. Ang lalaking bundok eh. Pag
Yes.
umulan yan, saan pupunta yan?
Bababa. Oo.
Bababa. Eh ngayon, walang humahawak nung wala kasing puno eh.
Oo.
So ngayon,
Kaya
nauubos ang
kailangan
tubig
talaga
nila.
mag-reforest.
So yan
Somehow
ang,
or other.
these are things that we need to understand. Like, if we want to be successful and live in harmony in nature, so there has to be some changes internally for us.
Yeah.
Because
We
we
need to
cannot,
also learn and act on
Alright.
what we
we
learn.
cannot be overly consuming and consuming that which is not ours.
And we cannot just say, sige, I'll take my time. You cannot take your time. Meron nga sinasabi, you will only realize the value of water when you are living in the desert already.
Huwag naman tayo mag-intay
If
dyan.
you waste the water now, you will live in the desert tomorrow.
Yes.
Yun ang nila
But
message.
many though, if you want in nature, sometimes we're intimidated by nature kasi hindi nga tayo nakatira sa ganyang mga gubat eh. Ngunit ang idinudulot niyan at ibinibigay niyan, tubig,
Oo, ito, tag-ulan na.
40% ng hangin natin, yung oxygen. Siya rin ang naglilinis ng carbon sa mga pollution na we are causing through our vehicles, factories, our own homes, burning all of the fossil fuel. Nature can clean it up for us,
Oo.
but it also has its limits.
We have to behave ourselves. Like now, tag-ulan na. Ang daming ulan, daming tubig. So we find a way dapat to save all this water, no?
But we
So
find
that
it,
in the summer hindi tayo hirap.
it doesn't sink to it doesn't recharge the aquifers.
Yeah.
Kasi,
Kasi puro semento na. Lahat
madaloy lang ang
tinakpan.
tubig.
Mm-mm.
So to our friends, it is so important for us to understand our true role as stewards, and that we are only here temporarily. This is the gift of a human being, a human form of life. We're able to understand who we are There's that beauty there. There's that gift that we all are being given. And also, what comes with that is we need to understand that we also know ang limits ng ating kinakailangan sa mundo na to. Let us not, for us not to overconsume, there has to be an internal change in our own lives.
Yep.
And not just ride on thinking that I am this flesh and blood, and for this to be happy, to make it so that my life will be centered around sense pursuit of enjoyment. But the senses, it's very limited as far as it's, kumbaga na yung, may hangganan kagad eh.
Yes.
You can only be
Yeah.
so happy eating pizza every day.
Nako,
Yeah.
O ngayon, kung kahili kayo sa french fries, wala nang fries ngayon.
wala na.
Wala
Oo.
na.
Back to kamote. So
Yun,
back to
better
basics
pa.
na tayo. Mawawala yung arena. Pati ang bigas,
We're gonna miss.
magmamahal.
Yan.
Ang daming mga bagay na
Buti
magbabago.
kung mahal lang, yung supply mismo ang
Okay, so that
problema.
we need to go back again to the basics.
Yes. Yeah.
Back to basics
Yes.
tayo. Simplihan na lang natin. We're pursued a life that is internal. The pleasure is from within instead of external. Ito yung kakaiba natin sa iba-ibang mga living forms. Sa atin, we're able to recognize and understand and receive knowledge that we are not this body, we are not our mind, but we are spirit. Right?
And we can take care of other living
Yes.
entities also. We can be the custodians or the caretakers. Stewards. Oo.
Steward.
Para rin mag-alaga.
Mag-alaga.
Yes.
Yun ang gift natin eh.
Yeah,
We
let's
need-
remember the real owner.
Right. Di ba? We are caretakers. We need to care for others. Kaya nga
Masaya
sabi,
naman. Masaya if you're caring,
Yeah.
di ba?
nandyan ang saya niyan eh.
Oo.
Hindi naman masaya naman. Kundi, nandyan ang saya.
That's
Ayan,
it.
di ba?
That's where you get happiness.
When you want to be happy, love one another.
Yes.
Diba?
True.
Hey,
And love means there's action involved.
giving,
Giving,
caring.
Caring. Diba?
Actually, turning your caring into action.
Action.
Oo.
Guiding and educating also people is a very helpful thing na hindi lang tayo yung nagiging responsible but we encourage others. It's like we draw people in to be involved.
Be the example that others
Be the
will
model.
follow. Kasi kung talk, hindi naging action, ay naku,
Let's share this
We really
information
need
to
to
others.
on what we are learning.
And we have to understand our own limitations.
Yes.
We are not the owner. We are not the controller of what we have in this world.
May shinare si Matt, sabi niya, if we want to successfully live in harmony with each other and with nature's laws, we have to recognize the existence and dominant position of the Supreme Person. Yan. Talaga naman dapat merong ganong recognition. And we
Good
would-
morning, Priscilla. Good morning.
Yeah, si Mila
Okay.
Celeste.
And Susan.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Susan, good morning.
Oo.
Lisel, Alipio, good morning to you too.
yes.
Angel Gonzalo, good morning.
Yes.
So, tuloy pa ba tayo next week nito? May marami pang
Next week,
discuss, ano?
ocean
Marami pa.
naman. Ocean.
O kasama na rin yun, yung
Yes.
ocean sa
Oo.
ating caring for the environment.
Yes, and next week, by the way, is also Child Safety
safety.
Week. No, they're
Ah.
part of our environment, of course. Let's
Yes.
take care of our children.
Oo.
That's why we also take care of the environment for our
Yeah,
children.
when we care, when caring for others, it means the responsibility to go far deeper.
Yes.
Siguro medyo tayo, maybe you can suggest things for caring for the environment and then next week you can share with us what little things we could do to help care for our environment and the other creatures who are living in that environment, di ba? So, pag nag-isip na tayo ng ganon, then there's a direction, there's a decision to do something about the problem.
Yes.
Kasi kung aasa po tayo sa gobyerno o sa ibang mga tao pa, baka maghintay tayo ng matagal. Kaya let's do something on our own. At least we know it's going to happen and makikita rin natin yung result kung ano yung ng ating mga ginagawa. And we can promote it and be a good example in this way.
Okay, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Thank you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
weekend. Go.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, go Palakas! narito